if I told you 25 years ago that you could bet $1,000 on whether or not the Miami Dolphins would go 25 years without a playoff win, that probably would have returned 10 mil, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you could do that on Kalshi right now or on Polymarket right now and pick any team you want.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Michael Jordan retired at the age of 30 in 1993. He missed the 93-94 season. Furthermore, he came back for 17 games in 1995 when he gave up baseball. And when I mean gave up baseball, he gave up baseball on March 18th and came back to basketball March 19th, which means no ramp up, no training camp, no nothing.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
You ain't buying no tickets.
Who isn't?
You're not going to
Saying
these
I'm a
games.
fan. Of course I'm not. There's a fan. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but if you were a fan, I thought you were a fan of the Hurricanes. You're not anymore.
They told me.
They
I
smashed
told them
you.
to donate my tickets.
Yeah, so I get it. But the fans travel. They have money, believe it or not. It's
They
amazing.
don't.
Well, somebody's
in this
got
economy,
money.
in this economy,
But they have money. I don't know. See what Kalshi says about the economy.
SportsGrid's college football today.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day here on a Football Friday. Scott Wetzel and Gabriel Morency for the next 3.5 hours or so. Any kind of luck anyway, probably until midnight Eastern time, probably 4 hours when everything is said and done. We'll take you to the end of the college football game as the college football playoffs begin. Oklahoma versus Alabama should be like a heavyweight fight, which, oh, by the way, we also have tonight. Little Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua action a little bit later on this evening after we probably go off the air, but we could certainly talk about it. NBA, NHL, some college basketball, so a full slate of action, hopefully making a couple of shekels. That is the goal along the way. First up, though, game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, all of the complaining, the polling, the portaling, the transferring, and everything else in between is finally put aside, at least for a couple of hours, albeit briefly, as the Kalen DeBoer of Michigan news continues to be circulated, and it seems to be real that the Michigan Wolverines are sitting back and believing that the Oklahoma Sooners win tonight and that they can get Kalen DeBoer on Monday to leave Tuscaloosa, believing that fans in Tuscaloosa will not get in the way of Kalen DeBoer going to Ann Arbor. There's a hell of a lot at stake, Scott, so let's get down to it. I'm actually fired up to get the playoffs started. Let's roll.
All right, opening pickoff time. Let's go right to the board. We go. I'm going to start game. I'll buy Alabama. A little bit of buyer's remorse, I must say, but I'll stick to my guns. I don't think Alabama's going to lose twice to Oklahoma. Sooners beat them in Alabama earlier in the season. I think they return the favor. I'll buy the hook, get it up to 2, another solid number. You know, it sounds crazy, but you can make the case Oklahoma has the worst quarterback, maybe this side of James Madison, and that dude's not too bad either. But they might have the worst quarterback in the college football playoff. I always look at the head. He came in with a lot of publicity. I don't really think he's that good. He's got the busted hand as an excuse this year, but I just can't see Oklahoma beating Alabama twice. So I'll start there, giving Alabama plus the 2. I'll buy the hook against Oklahoma.
The Oklahoma Sooners beat Alabama last year in their SEC debut, and they beat them earlier this year, and now they're looking to beat them again. And it doesn't happen often. To put it into perspective, guys, only one team in the last 138 years, that's right, only one team in the last 138 years have beaten Alabama twice in the same season. The Michigan Wolverines, right? In a 12-month span. The Michigan Wolverines did it. They played in the Rose Bowl semifinal, and then Michigan won in overtime, and they played in a bowl game the following year, and Michigan won again. You have to go all the way back to 1893. Auburn beat Alabama twice, and, of course, one of the greatest teams of all time, the Birmingham Athletic Club, in 1893 beat Alabama twice. So I'm sensing a pattern here. Alabama didn't have a good year in 1893. They got beat up. They got beat up by Auburn and the Birmingham Athletic Club 2 times that year. But with all that being stated, you know what? We talk about this a lot. You know, it's hard to beat the same team twice. It's even harder to beat the same team 3 times. Well, you know what? They've already beaten them twice. What's going to be different today, right? Has Alabama suddenly figured out how to run the ball? I will respectfully disagree as far as John Mateer is concerned. He is a good quarterback who has been playing, you know, he came back like way, you know, too quickly. And I'm looking for Mateer to have a big game. Boomer Sooner. The Oklahoma Sooners knock off Alabama again. Let's go.
There you go. Nice. I like that. Little props here for the action. Speaking of props, I'm going to go props for my second pick. You know, not all sites offer this bet, but if they do, I would hop on it. And that is, will a team score 3 times in a row? The answer, yes, is only minus 150. And before you say, well, that's a lot, Scott, you know, there's no way that some team is going to score 3 times in a row. You'd be surprised. That line generally is like minus 250, let alone minus only 150. Especially in college football, you'd be, like I said, you'd be surprised how many times in a football game a team does score 3 times in a row. College football, you get a lot of blowouts one way or the other. It's rare when you get a close game. I'm going to take that monster only minus 150 number. I'll go, yes, a team does score 3 times in a row tonight.
I'll tell you what, guys, there's been, and you're right, Scott, a lot of times you think in like these close games and championship games, somebody always scores 3 times in a row in the Super Bowl, right? It just always happens. You figure, oh, no, there's no way. It's going to go back and forth. Nah, it happens. Couple of field goals, turnover here, touchdown. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, wow, 3 times in a row. Now, the total is interesting in this game, and it should be noted, guys, the number has come up, right? People are betting on the over this game. I think it's Johnny come lately. You know, the public is starting to jump in on this. But with that, and, you know, you look, Oklahoma, 10-2 to the under this year. 10-2 to the under this year. One of the most suffocating defenses in the history of college football. They're that damn good. But what happened when they played earlier this year? They actually got to 44 points, right? I think, you know, the last couple of games, if you look, they scored 17 exact points. There was a lot of pressure on them, right? You know, you can't lose. It was just win no matter how you can possibly win. Sort of like the Seahawks against the Colts last week, and they found a way to win. They beat, and don't forget, Missouri have a damn good defense, all right? And LSU are good too. You know, they had fired Brian Kelly, but LSU can ball. So, yeah, they only scored 17 points in those games, but they also went to Tennessee and dropped 33 on them. All right. They also scored 26 on Mississippi. They scored 26 on South Carolina. They scored 44 against Kentucky. You know, Oklahoma are capable of putting points up on the board. Now, I don't think this game's going to be a track meet, but the total's just too low for me, Scott. I bet over. I got it earlier in the day, over 40. I put the bet in like earlier, like this morning type of deal, and I'm on the right side because the number keeps on going up right now to the over. But give me the over in this football. It just barely gets there. I think we get into the low 40s.
I tend to agree. I can't go under on a 40 in a college football game, no matter how good their defense. Alabama,
too
8-1
much speed
under
between
as well.
these teams, too.
Yeah,
too much speed.
There just is. Yeah. Listen, I understand what happens one game doesn't necessarily happen the next game. I get that. That's why I'm betting Alabama, right? But here's one where this might be my favorite play of the night. Ty Simpson, Alabama quarterback, game over 240.5 yards passing. He threw for 326 last game against them. And that's with one less possession. Remember, they returned an interception back for a touchdown. So they actually had one less possession. They still outgained Oklahoma 2-1. They can't run the ball. I don't think all of a sudden Alabama's going to be able to run the football. They threw for 326 in a losing cause. I don't know how the kid doesn't throw for 241 yards. Get me Ty Simpson, Alabama quarterback, over 240.5 passing yards.
You know what? I got a QB prop here, and I was just talking about liking Mateer, but Mateer is better with his legs. He's serviceable with his arm, but where he make plays is with his legs. He has to be aggressive and take off, and Alabama have always been vulnerable to mobile quarterbacks. So I'm going to go under with John Mateer passing yards. At 206.5, it's come down to 205.5, whatever, lingering in that area. 5 of his last 7 games, he's gone under this number. Alabama have a good defense too, guys. Let's not forget that, right? So this is going to be a rock fight. You got a low total. Oklahoma are going to want to run the football a lot. So I like Mateer, Scott, under pass yards and over rush yards, over 34.5, because I think Mateer will try to run through a wall tonight to try to win this football game. And we're getting ready for kickoff just like that, Wetzel. And Alabama will be kicking off to Oklahoma. And I'm sure you're going to agree with me. It's freaking confusing already, Wetzel. There's a lot of red and white on the field between two teams here, bro. Like, there's a lot. Like, when I saw them kicking off, I had to sort of compute. I'm like, all right, whoa.
Like,
who's who here? You know, like, you all look the same.
The helmets, the red helmets, the red helmet. Yeah, we couldn't have had some kind of
This is like their scrimmage, Scott. Like, both of them. This is like their scrimmage. It's red versus white. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a red-white scrimmage. Yeah, exactly. So that is kind of weird. Is Alabama in the white then? Is that it? Or is it? Yeah, Alabama's in the white, right? Yeah. Okay.
Somebody should have worn black or something just to mix it up.
Yes.
They said, I'm more in the alternate jersey, you know?
Yeah.
This season is about coming together, sharing moments.
We're going to go with the over tonight.
And celebrating what connects us. It's lighting the candles, gathering like a team, and finding joy in every night. 8 nights of tradition, 8 nights of celebration, 8 chances to shine. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
They're doing a new show about a Japanese interpreter.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing I don't know if it's a documentary or actors are in it.
It's got a.
I think it's a drama.
It's a real show.
It's like a scripted show?
Yeah.
About a Japanese interpreter?
Yes.
I wonder who's getting paid for that.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl MVP, multiple Super Bowl chances there, Super Bowl championship as they got it. Nick Sirianni said on the radio, no chance that Jalen Hurts is going to be benched. But by the way, Jalen Hurts didn't play the last 3 games. I think the Eagles would be 3-0 in those games, though. Just saying, Joe.
Oh, wow. How the mighty have fallen. When the Eagles fans turn on their quarterback, it's getting ugly in Philly, folks.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid. We are just underway. So is the football game. To recap my opening pickoffs, I got Alabama. I'm going to buy the hook, get it up to 2 against Oklahoma. Team scores 3 times in a row. Yes, minus 150. Ty Simpson, Bama quarterback, over 240 yards passing, 240.5 yards passing. And I'll throw one more college basketball game just getting underway. I like the under 152.5 Wisconsin and Villanova. It's a neutral site game. It's being played in Milwaukee, so it's in essence a home game for Wisconsin. Yeah, you're on the over? Yeah, I like the under. Both teams hold the opposition to around 44, 45% shooting. Neutral site game in Milwaukee. That kind of throws things off a little bit. So I thought that was a big number. A little too high of a number for me, 152.5.
I did play the over. I'm kicking myself, Wetzel. I wanted to get in on the Vancouver Canucks tonight. They've been rolling. They scored so damn early, I missed out. They're 3-0, like right away. This team, man, like unbelievable. Since the trade, they've been on fire. Like it's one of those. Yeah. The fan base got all upset. Oh, this team, they're tanking, and then suddenly, like, evidently they're not, right? And like I said, they got a lot of good players back in that deal. Oklahoma moving the ball on the first drive, and I got to be honest with you guys. I had the under sort of implanted in my brain for the last couple of weeks about this football game. Right, I was like, yeah, it's low for a reason. Smash mouth, right? There, it's like, I understand why it is what it is. And I sort of was thinking, 2017 type football game. 17-16 wouldn't surprise me. It's going to be a pure rock fight type of game. And I was just like, man, but 40 is just a little bit, it's just too low, right? Turnover here. Yeah. There's a lot of speeds. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about Alabama here, guys. Like, Alabama can move the football. I get that Oklahoma have a good defense, but Alabama aren't getting shut out. So I ended up betting the over, but it's funny. As they're moving the ball right now, I'm like, oh, boy, they're moving the ball early here. And I almost was thinking like an under better, like, oh, no. I realized, no, I'm on the over, actually. Let's go. But, yeah, so Oklahoma, big third down coming up here, Wetzel, for them. If Oklahoma puts points up on the board, it really makes them dangerous because defensively they will get stopped. So, it really is up to the offense. And they were 3 of 13 on third down in the first matchup. This is not an explosive offense on Oklahoma on third down. So they're in a 3rd and 10 right now. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah. I'll tell you, know what?
Incomplete.
We've had 2. Oh, geez. So they got a punt. This is like the quintessential drive, too, for an under. Get a couple of first downs, get it towards midfield, too far to go for it on 4th down, and you got to punt the ball from right around midfield. Then you give Alabama the ball deep inside their own territory,
At least it didn't eat up too much time. 10:37. It's not too bad,
It's not too bad. Not too bad. We've already had a couple of bad beats today. So
yeah, but it depends on what side you're on. I actually bet the under of the Kennesaw Western Michigan game. Dear God,
27-0 first quarter, and the game goes under 47.5 by the hook game. Oh, that's
was it 41-0 or 34-0 at the half? Was it 34-0 or 44?
Yeah, it was 27-0 after the first quarter. No, I said the first half. I meant the first quarter. 27-0 first quarter, 34-0 at the half, and the game doesn't go over 47.5. And even the NC State game went under after it being 31-7 at the half. They didn't score the second half. Game flies. So they didn't go close to the over-under.
Yeah, that game just hit the wall.
Yeah,
that was somewhat of a lock. And it's easy to say, but I went bigger on it. Yeah, and the number went down, which is bizarre, right? They were like -6 earlier in the week. It came down to 3. And guys, like the Memphis are better than that. But Memphis stumbled to the finish line this year. Their quarterback is beat up. Everybody's injured on the team. Like they haven't tapped out.
Staff is all gone.
They're just beat up. And the coaching staff split on them. But took everybody. Like they took the defensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator, this, that. Like the head coach split. Like they didn't say, "Oh, we'll hang around for the bowl." It was like, "See ya, we're leaving." And the poor defensive backs coach was the head coach today. What do you want the guy to do? You know what I mean? Like they had no staff. The DB coaches, they couldn't. They were just overwhelmed, right? They if you want to come up with rules, there should be a rule you can't tamper with coaches until after the season, man, because this is freaking ridiculous. Right, you all want to get a head start, but it's almost criminal, Scott, to screw some of these teams over like that. You're going into a game kind of screwed, right? And you got the other team that's all fired up. That Doran guy's been there forever. He's a competent, good coach. So you imagine you got a coaching staff, Scott. And you're like, the other team doesn't have a staff. They got a defensive backs coach. This guy doesn't never even met the offense before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's calling plays suddenly and making decisions. Like, it's not going to end well. It's nothing against him, but it won't end well for anybody.
Yeah. If you can find a team in that spot, the quarterback is hurt, the coaching staff is gone, you got a lame duck guy, he's going to be out the door in a couple of days. He's not worried about this game.
He's getting replaced with the new staff coming in. You're right. Yeah, like.
I mean, it's just like it's all,
not
you know,
a good
this game,
spot.
it's all leading. Yeah, it's all leading towards we don't need these bowls. And I'm not one like, oh, get rid of the bowls. I don't mind betting on these things if they're there. You either bet on it or you don't. You either watch or you don't. It's no, nothing off my skin if you don't play it or you do play it. But it's leading towards, the guys in the offseason saying, you know what, this is embarrassing. We don't need
There's
these games.
too many of them.
Coaches are all leaving.
And I like betting on it, but 41 bowl games, just too much. You're asking too much. Like, there's not 82 good teams. It's going to, but I'm not complaining. It is what it is. I'm tired of people waxing nostalgic about yesteryear and stuff. Like, like there were no blowouts in the 70s in bowl games, right? Like, it's just, it is what it is. People like to complain, but teams and coaches didn't leave and stuff like this before. Coaches wouldn't leave. If you were a player, you weren't allowed to leave. Or if you left, they were like, yeah, you can leave, but you got to sit out for like a year or two. Like, they made it really difficult in the old days if you wanted to transfer, right? So you'd have to sit out, and like it's a new era right now, but it was just a tough spot. But you got to recognize these spots from a betting perspective, right? But we're into Monday's the next bowl game. So now they got Alabama. It's all field position, Scott. If you're Oklahoma, you got to put your offense in good situations with a short field to work with, because that offense ain't going 90 yards up and down the field. You've got to give them like midfield position, and they can score. Yeah,
they got it at their own 13. If you're an over player, you want a 3 and out. It's one of the rare times that you're actually asking for a punt.
Exactly. Now it's like, all right, let's go defense. Let's get a stop here, get the ball back.
This season is about coming together, sharing moments.
We're going to go with the over tonight.
And celebrating what connects us. It's lighting the candles, gathering like a team, and finding joy in every night. 8 nights of tradition, 8 nights of celebration, 8 chances to shine. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
They're doing a new show about a Japanese interpreter.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing I don't know if it's a documentary or like actors are in it.
It's got
I think it's a drama.
It's a real show.
It's like a scripted show?
Yeah.
About a Japanese interpreter?
Yes.
I wonder who's getting paid for that.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl MVP, multiple Super Bowl chances there, Super Bowl championship as they got it. Nick Sirianni said on the radio, no chance that Jalen Hurts is going to be benched. But by the way, Jalen Hurts didn't play the last 3 games. I think the Eagles would be 3-0 in those games, though. Just saying, Joe.
Oh, wow. How the mighty have fallen. When the Eagles fans turn on their quarterback, it's getting ugly in Philly, folks.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game day here on the grid. Anyone expecting a 3-hour football game tonight, forget about it, man. They've already run about 10 minutes of commercials. Second possession for Oklahoma. Alabama 3 and out. So Sooners get the ball at their own 41-yard line. Not a bad punt, but halfway decent field position. But they go to break. So this is going to be a long one, folks. No score. Line's up to 2.5. You bought yourself an extra point if you like Alabama. And then the over-under is down to 38.5. You wonder if Oklahoma doesn't score here, how fast will they drop that? It's a pretty low number to start. It's only 10 points a quarter. If you just go by average, right? But if they don't score here and they pin Alabama back, you might get that below like 35. Which is 5 touchdowns. It might drop pretty quickly here, but I still think we're going to get some points as well, Gabe. Hard betting an under. I couldn't do it. And I knew that there was a chance you'd get a slow start like you get in a lot of these football games. So I kept a little something on the side, and I figured right around that 33, 34, if I can get it down there, take a full touchdown off, I'll hop back on board on the over again.
Yeah, I'm already on the over. And like I said, I was leaning towards the under all week. And, the past couple of weeks sort of leaning into this football game. But once the ice gets broken, points will start to get put on the board. There's just too many skill position players here. Like a punt return touchdown is, distinct possibility, scoop and score type of deal, right? Even if it's not fluid. But I'll tell you what, one thing with Alabama, their offense is very predictable because they don't run the ball. And who would have ever thought there would be in an era when Alabama's lead running back, and think of all the running backs that they've had over the years. Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Bo Scarborough, like all these sort of guys, like, just on and on. Trent Richardson, like just all these guys have racked up big numbers. The prop for Jam Miller, who's their number one back tonight, 36.5 yards.
Wow.
36.5. Bear Bryant's rolling in his grave right now, Scott. He's rolling in his grave. He's like, we're 36.5. What the, like, our running back's going to get 37 yards? We're in a lot of trouble then, and we're Alabama. They don't even pretend. They don't even try to run the ball. Like they don't, DeBoer doesn't care about running. He didn't run the ball. It's not his thing. It wasn't his thing in Indiana with Penix. It wasn't his thing at Washington with Penix. They throw. He's a throw-happy guy. It's a different type of offense that he runs, but it's kind of predictable. You got to have the threat of the ground game, and they really don't. You got a defense as good as Oklahoma, Scott. It makes it hard if Oklahoma kind of know what you're doing already. And they played them twice, so they know the tape, and they kind of know the tendencies a lot now. You could say the same thing about Bama knowing Oklahoma, so that's another reason why, I guess you could sort of lead with the under. But Mateer's completing a few passes here. You know what? It's funny, Scott. He just completed a really nice pass over the middle of the field for a big play, okay? First down, they decide to throw again. Would have been a touchdown. Watch this. Would have been a touchdown. The kid is wide open. Wide open.
Wow.
Like Alabama didn't even see him. Like the kid is like at the 10-yard line, like, look at me, John.
Yeah.
John sails it over his head. He's wide open.
Wow.
But the play before, he just hit a kid in stride over the middle of the field. Very inconsistently frustrating. Like, if you're the staff, you're like, dude, it should be 7-0 right now. Like, you got to hit that.
He reminded me of the New York Jet wide receiver or the Baltimore Colts wide receiver against the Jets in the Super Bowl. What's his face there? He's running down the sideline on the flea flicker, and Earl Morrall doesn't throw him the ball. He's waving like I'm wide open, no one within 20 yards. So they're leading rushing. Back to the rushing.
He actually saw him. He sailed it over his head on it, but then he follows it up with a nice scramble and run on the next play to pick up a first down. So he's not perfect, but he's a gamer. He's a competitor like Mateer, but I'm not gonna say he's the worst quarterback in the playoffs, but he's inconsistent. He's up and down.
It's pretty close. When you really start to think about it, depending on what you think of a James Madison quarterback, right? But even Retzlaff, I think at Tulane might be better. Listen, you're not getting at this level unless you have a really good quarterback. So saying even if he is the worst doesn't mean he's awful. It just means that the other teams are really, really good.
Like I said,
Alabama's leading
Mateer has had big games. I was going to say, though, he has had big games this year, Scott. And he had super big games in Washington State. But against these, one thing with Mateer, he is playing against super elite defenses, right? Like Oklahoma's schedule has been a real bitch, man. Like, you know, this is Alabama again, you know, the Mississippis, the LSUs, like they had played everybody. Unlike Texas A&M that avoided everybody.
And Ole Miss, look at their schedule. You're right about that.
This season is about coming together, sharing moments.
We're going to go with the over tonight.
And celebrating what connects us. It's lighting the candles, gathering like a team, and finding joy in every night. 8 nights of tradition, 8 nights of celebration, 8 chances to shine. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
They're doing a new show about a Japanese interpreter.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing like I don't know if it's a documentary or like actors are in it.
It's got a.
I think it's a drama.
It's a real show.
It's like a scripted show.
Yeah.
About a Japanese interpreter.
Yes.
I wonder who's getting paid for that.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl MVP, multiple Super Bowl chances there, a Super Bowl championship as they got it. Nick Sirianni said on the radio, no chance that Jalen Hurts is going to be benched. But by the way, Jalen Hurts didn't play the last 3 games. I think the Eagles would be 3-0 in those games, though. Just saying, Joe.
Oh, wow. How the mighty have fallen. When the Eagles fans turn on their quarterback, it's getting ugly in Philly, folks.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live, game day on the grid. And, apropos for our show while we're away.
Yeah, for you, Wetzel.
Yeah, maybe it's me. I'll take the blame. Yeah, and it's John
We
McTeer.
get the touchdown during the break, but it's the guy that you say he's the worst. So he scores from like, let's go, McTeer.
Broken
Let's
clock is right
McTeer.
twice today, right? Yeah. Made a nice little move. I tell you, he kind of in and out of, a little weave action there for McTeer. So
I got in on the touchdown
that's
prop
really
with
cool.
him. He was minus 110. I got it at minus 125, right at kickoff type of deal. And,
Crazy
of course, I bet
numbers.
the under Mateer passing yards, but he's already got 52. That was my only sort of anti-Oklahoma play that I was like, all right, I don't think Mateer will throw for 206 yards. I think he'll use his legs a lot. But we bet over 34.5. He's already at 26, but just a warning for the let's say some of you are used to betting NFL. You're not total college, like all in on college. He gets sacked. We lose yards, and it counts against our rush yards.
Yes.
So
College
don't
it
think,
does.
oh, my God, we're already at 26. This is awesome. Yeah, he could lose 17 yards on the next play, and then suddenly we're down to like 9. Right? It's very frustrating. Right? It's very frustrating, but good start for Mateer with his legs.
All right, let's welcome in our good buddy Colby Dant. The Sports Gambling Podcast Network is his home. His podcast, the College Experience Podcast. What's going on, Colby? How are you tonight? Oklahoma or Alabama, or maybe it's just an over or under tonight?
I'm all over the Sooners, man. I went pretty heavy on this. Now, I know I might sound like a little bit of a moron because I had the future in Alabama on this very show. I think I gave it out back in July. I just don't think, we were talking about this a little bit, I feel like over the past couple of weeks. I just don't think Alabama's playing at a very high level right now. They're super predictable on offense, super predictable on defense. As far as like, to me, I think their run defense has been a flaw all season long. I think they cooked the books. They were back in the 80s for most of the season. They were at like the high 50s before the Eastern Illinois game, and they cooked the books with that Eastern Illinois game. So as much as, I would love that future to I think that thing is cooked. I think there's a much, I honestly think there's like 10 other teams that are playing better football than them to end the season that didn't make the playoffs.
I'm not going to say he's Lincoln Riley, Scott, but I'm curious your take, Colby. But DeBoer is an offense. He's all offense, right? He thinks about the offense so much, and you can just sort of see Bama have lost that toughness on defense over the last couple of years. They're not as disciplined. They take more penalties. They're not as physical. They don't tackle as well. He's an offensive guy, right? And it kind of shows. People call out Lincoln Riley all the time for focusing on offense a lot, but I get that feel from DeBoer personally, Colby.
100%. He kind of reminds me of like Bob Toledo or something. Like they're like an old Pac-10 team. You know what I mean? Like they're not physical, and it's kind of unfortunate because I think Jam Miller's a good back. Like if I was him, I would be thinking about the portal.
His prop was 36.5, Colby. I showed it to Scott a couple minutes ago. I said, who would in a million years from Trent Richardson, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, blah blah blah, that their lead running back rushing yard prop would be 36.5, and that's what Jam Miller's prop was tonight.
They're a bottom 20 rush offense. I mean, that. I don't care what era. I don't care if you're running the run and shoot. Like, to me, like you're at Alabama. You know what I mean? You're at Alabama. You should be at least in the 70s or 80s or something. There's no excuse in that. And I've defended DeBoer a little bit because I thought Saban left because he read the tea leaves on how college football had changed, and he doesn't have this gigantic advantage of paying underneath the table anymore. So I was like, man, you got to be patient with them. But at the same time, I'd be pretty furious with that stat because I know Alabama's got stables of running backs through that state. So, yeah.
You're right about that with Saban. And Ed Orgeron admitted it the other day on a show last week, Scott. Ed Orgeron said, they said, what do you think about what do you think, Coach, about the NIL stuff? He goes, now we pay them. He goes, at LSU, we used to pay them through the back door. And he started laughing. He goes, now you don't hide it. You pay them through the front door.
Everybody knows this, man. We talked to a guy that actually, back when Saban was at LSU, was actually one of the guys that would help launder the money on our show. We had him on before. So like we had talked about we could go on and on. I'm buddies with a former safety at Oregon that said like he was out of LA, so he wanted to stay in the Pacific, and USC had already had their sanctions, but he said everybody in the SEC except for Vanderbilt offered me a bag. So I mean the world's changed a lot. Saban read the tea leaves. So I think the guy's honestly, like, I know this is going to sound arrogant, but like, I think he's a little overrated because there was only like 20 schools.
But you're right. That's why the Big Ten wins everybody now. People are wondering, how come the Big Ten's winning championships suddenly? What's changed? The Big Ten used to have morals, and they wouldn't, like Michigan and these teams, they weren't paying players like that. You know, there would be a few little things. They did with the Fab Five, and they paid a price for it. They're, oh my God, look what happened. Right, it's business as normal in the SEC. That stuff for the last 100 years.
100%, man. 100%.
Going to be hard for a team to really dominate because everybody can pay now. Hell, Vandy's a better football team now, as long as they can pay. You could be Topeka High. I've said this. If you got some boosters that donate money to you for whatever reason, doesn't matter what school you are, you could win. Hell, Indiana's winning. Although I don't know if that's necessarily paying, but
I think that's more coaching than money. Yeah,
that might be more coaching. Yeah. But still, it's a different football world here. So, all right. So Alabama's got the 3rd and 10 at their own 14-yard line. This is kind of like it's only the first quarter. I get that, guys, but you don't want to punt the ball back to
it's
Oklahoma.
Not trending well for Bama.
Drove the ball twice. It's not. Everybody's covered. Simpson sort of like got to get rid of the ball quickly. He's under pressure. The offense isn't flowing so far, Colby, for Bama.
And another thing I think people underestimate is these games on campus. This isn't like the NFL. You can't mimic this in the NFL. But even the NFL and NBA or whatever, the home edge is always valid, but I don't think we've seen any. We don't have enough data yet. This is year 2 of this system on campus games.
But it was 4-0 last
animal.
year.
Yeah,
it's
a different
unfair.
animal,
It's stupid.
man.
Think about it. These teams are the less superior teams. So there's inferior teams, yet these guys get a home game, and I saw that these teams make like $7 to $10 million for the home game. Think about that.
Yeah,
so
Notre Dame.
You're a worse team, and you're making money somehow. And Indiana's got to go play on a neutral field in the next game.
Yeah. They got to fix that. That was a flaw from the start. To me, they should play all the games on campus until the championship, in my opinion. Like, play the championship, move that thing around between the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl. Right. I think college football, the unique thing it has over, to me, the NFL is great home environments, great traditions, great stadiums. I mean, all their stadiums like 100 years old. It's just something cool about it that the NFL doesn't have. They should lean more into that.
Yeah. You don't think Oklahoma's gotten a little advantage tonight playing at home? They're 155-17 against 1A competition at home over the last, 25 years. 155-17. They don't lose at home. They really don't. Only a dope would bet against them.
And at nighttime.
Of course, that's
putting it in a weird spot. Friday night, you're playing on a Friday night. Like JMU, I think, going into Eugene on a Saturday night is not an ideal situation for them. But it is actually only 4:30 at the time. It's not really fully nighttime. It'll get dark, but it's not full nighttime yet.
Well, another thing is Alabama doesn't get that cold. This is like 35 degrees or something.
Yeah. We'll get into the other games, but does either team have a chance to beat Indiana next week, Colb? Alabama or Oklahoma in your eyes?
I think Oklahoma does. I don't think Alabama Alabama's got some athletes on the outside that can always scare you if you miss an assignment or something. But Oklahoma, I think their defense can keep them in any game.
3rd and 10, up to 7.5.
4th and 10 now.
Just 4th and 10. I was just say something.
They're having a hard time. They can't run the ball, but now they're having a hard time completing the ball. But it's just like you said it earlier. We chuckled when you said even a run and shoot team. Think about it, Colby and Scott. Come on, Colby. You're the Alabama Crimson Tide. You've run the ball 2 times today so far. Like, you don't even pretend to try to run the ball.
We'll get Colby's thoughts on the other games when we come back.
This season is about coming together, sharing moments.
We're going to go with the over tonight.
And celebrating what connects us. It's lighting the candles, gathering like a team, and finding joy in every night. 8 nights of tradition, 8 nights of celebration, 8 chances to shine. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
They're doing a new show about a Japanese interpreter.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing I don't know if it's a documentary or actors are in it.
It's got to.
I think it's a drama.
It's a real show.
It's like a scripted show?
Yeah.
About a Japanese interpreter?
Yes.
I wonder who's getting paid for that.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl MVP, multiple Super Bowl chances there, Super Bowl championship as they got it. Nick Sirianni said on the radio, no chance that Jalen Hurts is going to be benched. But by the way, Jalen Hurts didn't play the last 3 games. I think the Eagles would be 3-0 in those games, though. Just saying, Joe.
Oh, wow. How the mighty have fallen. When the Eagles fans turn on their quarterback, it's getting ugly in Philly, folks.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe chat with our good buddy Colby, Dan, the College Experience podcast. Keeping an eye on a little bit of everything. I got a keen eye on Florida State and Mississippi Valley State, guys. Is that was one of those Mississippi Valley State plus 42 or 30, 41 or whatever the hell it was, and the over, right? As long as they score like 55 points. And I'm sweating it out, 73-36 midway through the second half. In fact, 7 minutes left. I could be in trouble on that one. All right, so we got the 7-0 Alabama trailing, and Oklahoma with the football. We'll keep an eye on that. How about a couple games tomorrow here, Colb? We'll start in order. Texas A&M laying 3.5. I saw it dip to 3 in certain places. It is up to 3.5 on FanDuel, although they don't like offering solid numbers, so it might be 3 around the world. And then over under 48.5. I think we get some points in that football game. Your thoughts on that one?
You know, I don't know, man. Once again, the home edge. I think I tend to think the under, but I think the better play is just taking A&M. I love, a lot of the home, especially if you get short line. We're seeing it right now with the Sooners. Now, obviously, they can still lose this thing, but I just think you give both these coaches 2 weeks to prep. There's a strong edge in College Station, and then what I love too is I think if you would ask anybody. Like I was at ACC Media Days this year, and I know the NFL scouts were talking all about the Miami defensive line, right? Well, the best way that's what they're known for. Texas A&M might have the best offensive line in the country, arguably. I think they're a top 5 offensive line. I love that advantage.
Doesn't it come down to the quarterbacks? Who makes less mistakes, right? We've seen Carson Beck can be a turnover machine in big games, especially on the road. Saw it at Georgia. We saw it at SMU earlier this year. And Marcel Reed can be really good, but he can also be inconsistent as well. To me, it's like which quarterback cracks it. 51-yard field goal attempt coming up for the Sooners, guys.
Yeah, Marcel Reed is one. If I'm Elko, I don't even know that I ask him to throw too much.
The kick is good.
He got it.
He made it. Whoa, 51-yarder. Venables
That's
is
pretty good for
fired
college
up.
kid.
Came out to meet the kicker in midfield.
And it's really windy there too.
Yeah.
He looks mean, doesn't he? He's got
Venables. You see him, Scott, come out.
He's got his jaws clenched.
Dude, I'm told you, they're fired up down there in Norman, Scott. They're fired up.
Got a touchdown, coach. It's only a field goal. Take it easy,
He made that by like 10 yards, man. Yeah.
No, my kicker makes a 51-yarder like that. I'm happy too. Look at him. Hey, look at him.
But to me, back to the A&M, like Marcel Reed, I wouldn't ask him to do too much because that. If you go back and watch that South Carolina game and how South Carolina got up so much, he threw a couple just really bad passes. Yeah. So to me,
about
like
the Texas game though? Now's the last game, so I have a hard time getting that out of my head, Colby.
Fair. My thing though is like, I just think Cristobal. Go back to all those Pac-12 championships where he had some time to prep. I don't like him with weeks off. You know what I mean? I actually think the advantage would be if you keep
time
going
to think. Yeah, you don't want him thinking. Time to think.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the Aggies and lay it there. And that now, if I had to take a side on the total, I actually think I would take the under because I do think both defensive coordinators with that much prep are pretty good defensive coordinators.
Tulane or James Madison? Give either one any chance to win. Or which one would you pick if you had to cover the spread?
Oh, I like Tulane. I think Tulane's going to cover the spread. Look. My argument is this: like, they have a similar situation as Ole Miss. Ole Miss, they're without their coach. They got multiple coaches that are already in Baton Rouge. Some came back. Some you wonder if they're trying to. I've heard rumors that Trinidad Chambliss could end up at LSU. I think that's a distraction all going on. So another thing is the first matchup, I thought Ole Miss caught them at a great spot. They had already played, Northwestern, the Big Ten bowl team in the opener, then a rivalry game week 2. Then they beat Duke in Yeoman Stadium week 3. So you got them on the 4th leg of that. I think the fact that they've been to this stadium already once, they know it. The fact, who knows what the locker room is. Tulane, I actually think their locker room might be more intact with the coach giving back a bunch of money to their NIL. Also, they hired from within with Will Hall. So I kind of, and we just saw the news that Coach Summerall's dad just passed away tonight. I think the team's going to play loose and play for him. Ole Miss only beat Washington State by 3 at this place, and not knowing Pete Golding and what the locker room is, I think Tulane in the points. I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to win this thing outright.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
Outright.
Put a money line plus 610. Any chance
I'm
for
with you, though,
JMU?
in the sense, when I first saw the point spreads come out, Scott, that was the one. I was like, you know what? I think Tulane can play with them. I'm going to throw out that first game. Exactly. It was an emotional gauntlet that they went through. That Duke game was wild. Dude, don't forget, Mensa was their quarterback. Like, you know how emotional that was? They were going head-to-head with the guy that left them. And, you know, Retzlaff is better now than he was. He's not going to be overwhelmed. Like, I don't think they're overwhelmed going into this in the same way that I think JMU, the wheels will fall off. I don't think JMU are going to be able to score, Colby and Scott.
The JMU one
45.5 only is the number.
The JMU one, to me, is the hardest one to cap, just because, like, had you told me this was last year's JMU with the coaching staff intact, I actually think they could cover 21.5. I don't think they could win the game any year, right? But I think they could cover it, because one thing I've always said, whether it's even in the FCS level or since they've joined the FBS, they are one of the most physical group of 5 teams there is. Like, on the line of scrimmage, that's why Indiana, you can make an argument JMU's already won at Oregon, because Indiana's whole darn team is JMU guys, right? But
it's a good point.
But I'll still take a shot on the points, but that's a game I have no feel on, because I follow Chesney's Twitter. He's like recruiting in Gardena, California. It's like, how much can you be focusing?
He's all over the place,
right? Yeah. So I have a really hard time with that one.
Hey, we only got like 30 seconds. I was going to say, we got 30 seconds, and you said FCS. Big games tomorrow. Montana State laying 6.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's up to 6 from the 3.5
the whole weekend.
Villanova, Illinois State.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that one. Like, man, it's hard to go against either one of those two teams, but I'm leaning with Nova, and I want to take the +6 with the Grizzlies.
You know what? Hold on, Cole. If you got a minute, we'll bring it back for a couple more minutes, and we'll talk a little college football. Yeah, and Game Live continues here in the Grid.
This season is about coming together, sharing moments.
We're going to go with the over tonight.
And celebrating what connects us. It's lighting the candles, gathering like a team, and finding joy in every night. 8 nights of tradition, 8 nights of celebration, 8 chances to shine. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
They're doing a new show about a Japanese interpreter.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing like I don't know if it's a documentary or like actors are in it.
It's got
I think it's a drama.
It's a real show.
It's like a scripted show?
Yeah.
About a Japanese interpreter?
Yes.
I wonder who's getting paid for that.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl MVP, multiple Super Bowl chances there, Super Bowl championship as they got it. Nick Sirianni said on the radio, no chance that Jalen Hurts is going to be benched. But by the way, Jalen Hurts didn't play the last 3 games. I think the Eagles would be 3-0 in those games, though. Just saying, Joe.
Oh, wow. How the mighty have fallen. When the Eagles fans turn on their quarterback, it's getting ugly in Philly, folks.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing out hour number one. Talking with Colby Dan, little college football here. So just to update you the Alabama situation before we get back to the FCS
Look at the
games,
coaches, Scott. You want to see angry coaches? Watch the Oklahoma coaching staff greet this kid back to the sideline. He cheap shot at someone after the play. Watch the staff. First Venables, and then the other coach. The other coach looks like he wants to punch him. Like he's got his fist in his face. He's like, "You stupid!" Like he's like,
wow.
Like they're mad.
So they get a first down. That's. I told you when he was clenching his jaw with the field goals. Like, take it easy, coach. All right, Oklahoma 10-0. Big, I got to hand it to you, Colb. I was all over California Baptist or whatever the fuck, UC Davis. I was all over UC Davis. I didn't think Illinois State would be able to go down there after the crazy win in Montana, but they do. Yeah. So here's the 4-leg gauntlet for Illinois State heading into this weekend. We'll start with the second game. They go to Southeast Louisiana. They win there from Illinois. Then they fly to North Dakota. They win there. Then they fly to California, they win there, and now they got to hop on a plane again and go all the way east and play, just outside of Philadelphia at Villanova. Are you still on Illinois State? Because I'm betting Villanova today.
Well, I can tell you this: you got that dollar beer day that they're doing there. So I know Philadelphia. Yes. That thing, you're going to have a ton of people there that just for that dollar beer. But look, to me, I've been riding it ever since the first. Now I didn't take the money line against North Dakota State, but I took the points, and I just feel like something is magical about this run by Illinois State. So I'm going to continue to ride it just because it treated me so well. Tommy Rittenhouse. Yeah.
Rittenhouse, thank you. I know it was one of those. Yeah, exactly. Rittenhouse. This kid's balling, man. like they're just, everything they do works right now. But this Villanova team is good, right? Villanova are really good, man. Like, boy, it's such an improbable matchup. And that Montana State game, guys, man, tickets are like $750, $800 to sit in it's impossible to get in. Like, that's going to be the highest ratio of shotguns and hunters ever in one place at a football game. Like, you keep your mouth shut in the parking lot. Like, guys go to their truck, they come back with 12 gauge there, Scott. Like, I've been down there. I was down there in Wyoming once. Literally, we're in a bar. Buddy comes in, just slams down a shotgun on the bar table. There, give me a beer. I told my buddy, don't start anything with anybody in this place. Eh? I was in Laramie. Just, you know what I mean? I said, everyone's got guns here, bro. Everybody. They say everybody.
Order what they're ordering. Don't order anything goofy. No flowery
It's right out of
drinks.
a movie, though. Guys in pickup trucks with 6 of them in the back with guns walking the bar. It's like, I was like, damn, this is the Wild West, man. Like, it was freaking me out.
5.5 on FanDuel. Montana at Montana State, Joe. Where are we going?
Well, I mean, the number's gone up a little bit, but I got to stick to what I bet. I bet Montana State, and I know that's a tall order in this game because I know the history of this game. The Brawl of the Wild, I think, is one of the best rivalries in all of college football. And the stakes have never been as high as this. This is the biggest game in the history of Montana football because the winner's going to the national championship in Nashville. But my thing was this: Brent Vigen got offered. He's the head coach of Montana State. Got offered the Oregon State job. And he said, I'll take it, but I gotta ride my season out with my boys. We might be able to win the national championship. And Oregon State said, no, that's not the deal. We're going to move along, right? I think the team rejoiced. I think there's something special about that.
Now they got to win for him.
Yes.
They got to win.
Yes. And that's rare to see. You saw Lane Kiffin on the other side of this, you know what I mean? So the fact that he was loyal for an FCS job to stay there. I think there's something about this team. They're at home. I think they're gonna cover it. But I know this is a big time rivalry game. So it wouldn't surprise me if Montana upset them too.
Field is covered in snow right now. But the field is, you're Oregon State. Exactly, Scott. Just accept it. The guy's a good coach. Say, all right, good luck, coach. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Like, you know what I mean? Now you're like, you're right.
For the long haul.
It's just dumb.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, it's really, people think about weather and stuff, and it is like somebody did a shot tonight from the stadium covered in snow. Yet, and I get it, online weather, you can never tell, but tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny, not snowing. and 31 degrees. By Bozeman, Montana standards, that's like summertime.
Yeah. It's 4 o'clock Eastern time. What are they, Mountain, I imagine? So, 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, it's
Not
2
bad.
o'clock local,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be watching that one more than the other games. Cole, great job
like
as always, man. Appreciate it. Good luck with the plays.
This season is about coming together, sharing moments,
We're going to go with the over tonight.
and celebrating what connects us. It's lighting the candles, gathering like a team, and finding joy in every night. 8 nights of tradition, 8 nights of celebration, 8 chances to shine. Happy Hanukkah from all of us at SportsGrid.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a leap.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
They're doing a new show about a Japanese interpreter.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing like I don't know if it's a documentary or like actors are in it.
It's got
I think it's a drama.
It's a real show.
It's like a scripted show.
Yeah.
About a Japanese interpreter.
Yes.
I wonder who's getting paid for that.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl MVP, multiple Super Bowl chances there, Super Bowl championship as they got it. Nick Sirianni said on the radio, no chance that Jalen Hurts is going to be benched. But by the way, Jalen Hurts didn't play the last 3 games. I think the Eagles would be 3-0 in those games, though. Just saying, Joe.
Oh, wow. How the mighty have fallen. When the Eagles fans turn on their quarterback, it's getting ugly in Philly, folks.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our 3.5 hour extravaganza. Who knows, maybe 4. Scott and Gabe handed out some winners already. We got our late night pickoff coming up, but I will throw out there, Gabe, your pick on Oklahoma looking real good. The over, you had it officially. I kind of concurred with you. And the team scoring 3 times in a row, minus 150.
Oh, yeah, it's happened
4
now.
into the game, and a hit.
Just like that,
That's
exactly.
like
It's amazing. You don't think what happens,
all
Scott,
the
in a
time,
game,
right?
it's a pick-em, right? Oh, it's a pick-em, 2 so evenly matched teams. It's going to be a rock fight. It was 23-21 last time they played. Boom, 3 scores in a row to start the game.
Just like that. Just like that. It's amazing. You just don't have,
You know what?
even in the NFL. I told you, the NFL, those bets are all minus 250. And same thing, like pick them games, you think, no one's going to score 3 times in a row.
I learned the hard way as a young bettor, Scott, in the early days of blowout Super Bowls. There's no way there's going to be 3 scores in a row. Yeah, Dallas 58-17 over Buffalo or whatever. There was 7 scores in a row. There wasn't 3, and it was 7. It happens all the time. I agree with you. It's a good bet if you can get it at plus money because people never assume it's going to happen, and it always happens. It's too bad because Bet365 does a pretty good job. I could get touchdown score prop bets in still as the game goes on, but I can't get quarterback props and stuff like that. And I was going to say,
it's kind of weird.
What about Ty Simpson? Sort of like a pro. Does FanDuel? Let me see FanDuel. I got FanDuel open here too. I don't think FanDuel has it. Let's see. They do. Wow. I don't have access to FanDuel, unfortunately. Ty Simpson's 200 right now. He's got 12 passing yards. They don't have an effing choice.
Wow.
They don't even pretend to throw the ball to begin with, but they're losing 17-0, guys. So, they literally have to throw every play the rest of the game. So if you have access to it, and I know not every state even allows college football player props, right? It's hit or miss with this. I have access to it, but pregame only. Bet365 doesn't. I have other books, but you know what I mean? My main account here. But FanDuel right now, John Mateer, 231. Man, Mateer's already at 132, Scott, passing yards.
Wow.
His prop is 231.5, and Ty Simpson, 200.5. He's got 12 yards passing only.
All right, we got a bunch of hockey games, some NBA, some other things going on. How about a little late night pickoff? Yep. I don't do this too often, but I'm going to do it. It's too obvious. It just is to me. I'm going to grab on the ice Colorado. Won't lay the monster number. I will drop it down to a regulation win, minus 170, 175 or so, depending on where you do your shopping. They're playing great, 17-3, 19-4 their last 23. Winnipeg is playing awful. It almost looks one of those like two obvious ones, but man, give me Colorado minus 170 to win a regulation at home against Winnipeg.
All right, you know what? If you like that, Scott, you should parlay with Anthony Joshua. So we've got the big Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua debacle going down in Miami tonight. It's scheduled for about 11:15 Eastern, which really means midnight or so. It's on Netflix, so it's not a pay-per-view, but they'll still try to want people to sign up for Netflix right before the fight. They'll wait it out. Plus, they want the West Coast. It'll be at about midnight, but we'll throw it out here right now. Anthony Joshua. There was a boost at Bet365. I saw that DraftKings has the same one, which almost feels like we're all being trapped and tricked into something. But it's will Anthony Joshua win in the first or second round at plus 200. All right, we have the two-time heavyweight champion of the world. He's 6'6". He weighed in at 243 yesterday because he had to weigh 245 or less. He normally weighs 260 on fight night. People can put on a lot of weight, Scott, in a couple of hours, these guys. They're used to rehydrating very quickly. He can crush a bunch of protein shakes. He'll eat a bunch of steaks. And next thing you know, he's going to be 260 again, right? 255, 260 again. Jake Paul's coming in here at 216 pounds. The only thing that's holding us back here from an all-in is Joshua is a 12-1 favorite right now. And people are convinced that it's scripted, that there's an agreement that Joshua will not really hurt him, right? Win the fight, but don't embarrass me and hurt me. Yet Anthony Joshua is already a $100 millionaire. He doesn't have any incentive. Like all these other patsies that Jake Paul fights are Jake Paul's bitch, for lack of a better term. They're happy to be on the card. And so thank God he chose me to get beat up by him. Anthony Joshua is a he's a $100 millionaire. He doesn't want to, why would he want to, tarnish his reputation over making another 12, 15, 20 million, whatever he's getting here? I think he's going to beat him. I think there is an agreement that, hey, I won't knock your head and put you into a coma. But Jake Paul has talked so much smack, guys. And Joshua's a thin-skinned guy. I think it's going to piss him off enough that it's going to be all right, you know what? Once I'm in the ring, I'm actually going to knock this guy to FL pretty quickly. So I'm going to go with a same-game parlay here. I played the odds boost at plus 200 for round one or round two, but I'm also going to play Joshua to win by KO and under 3.5 rounds at minus 134. What else you got, Scott?
All right, I'll get into the boxing. I basically concur with you with that, but I'll get into the boxing. I'm going to grab an NBA here. Give me OKC laying 7.5 at Minnesota. Anthony Edwards is playing tonight for the Teacups, but I told you before, and it's true. They win games, but they don't cover. Now, this is a situation where they're the underdog, but OKC, they're back in gear, 5-1 against the spread. Listen, they're great. 17-1 last 18. They got 2 losses on the season, right? They're just phenomenal. So give me those 7.5 on the road at Minnesota on OKC.
Let's go with Abilene Christian and BYU. I sent this in, I don't know, it was about 5 o'clock Eastern time, 2 o'clock Pacific. It was 143.5. It's 146.5, 147 right now. I can't help it if I'm sharp and I was on the right side early. But the game has gone up. Here's a big play for Bama. So I don't really, if you look, Scott, Abilene Christian, they are who they are, but they can score a bit. Yeah, when they play real teams too, they lose 90-60 type thing. You know what I mean? They get into the 70s, the mid 60s. I find this to be low at 1-4. I thought it was low. I'm thinking, you know what? BYU is going to get into the high 80s and Abilene Christian can get into the 60s. This is like, so they got into the mid 140s. I think we got into the mid 150s, actually, when it's all said and done. So give me the over in BYU and Abilene Christian. It's a real religious matchup, the Christians versus the Mormons.
Yeah, this really is, right? I went same place, Gabe. Yeah, right. It's kind of funny, right? We played on Christmas Day.
Hey, and the other night, we won the Campbell bet, just for the record.
We did.
Camels, cover the number, baby.
Campbell and the over. Campbell and the over, both.
Give you Campbell. People would be like, I'm not taking Campbell at Gonzaga.
Yeah.
They covered. They
did. That's why I'm gonna do the same thing here. I grabbed Abilene Christian. I took them plus 33. My number was 33 and a half. Yeah, and then over 144 and a half. So basically, then scored 58 points. If they score 58 points, then you're guaranteed at least a split, because in order for BYU to cover, then it would have to go the over 144 and a half that I got at. So I'll take you're right. You look at Abilene Christian's scores, right? That's the key. They get blown out a little bit, but they put 70 on the board on a regular basis. 77 against New Mexico State, 71 against Pepperdine, 61 against Texas San Antonio, but 76, 75, the 92 against some, lesser competition. I don't think BYU is going to be balls out for this game. It's a home game. They'll go up 20-25, and then they'll just coast. And they're not going to play any man-to-man in-your-face defense. So I think you got a halfway decent shot of getting ABC. It's ABC versus BYU, basically. So give me ABC, Abilene Christian, and the over.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the take there. I'm on the over, and I like the angle there. I'll probably jump in with Abilene Christian as well. Let's wrap something up here with something that's kind of flying under the radar, but this is what we try to help people with and identify this stuff. Dante DiVincenzo, guys, his rebound prop is 3.5. He's got 4 more rebounds in 8 straight games. He's got 4 more rebounds in 12 of his last 14 games. It's just one of those under-the-radar type of deals. Like, you look here, rebounds, 11, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 2, 5, 5, 5, 6. Bro, it is 3.5 tonight. I'm not going to overthink this. Give me Dante over 3.5 rebounds. Touchdown, Alabama.
On 4th down, no less.
If I told you 25 years ago that you could bet $1,000 on whether or not the Miami Dolphins would go 25 years without a playoff win, that probably would have returned 10 mil, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you could do that on Kalshi right now or on Polymarket right now and pick any team you want.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Michael Jordan retired at the age of 30 in 1993. He missed the 93-94 season. Furthermore, he came back for 17 games in 1995 when he gave up baseball. And when I mean gave up baseball, he gave up baseball on March 18th and came back to basketball March 19th, which means no ramp up, no training camp, no nothing.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
You ain't buying no tickets.
Who isn't?
You're not going to
Say
these
if I'm a
games.
fan. Of course I'm not. There's a fan. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but if you were a fan, I thought you were a fan of the Hurricanes. You're not anymore.
They told me. I
smashed
told them to donate my tickets.
Yeah, so I get it. But the fans travel. They have money, believe it or not. It's amazing.
In this economy,
they have money. I don't know. See what Kalshi says about the economy.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid, hour number 2. So Alabama scores basically while we were away, just as right there at the buzzer. So 17-7. Let's talk a little college football with the coach, Terry Bowden, host of the Bowden Blitz you see here on SportsGrid. What's going on, Coach? How are you tonight? What do you think? Oklahoma 17-7, a lot of points.
Yeah. A lot of Oklahoma offense. I think that's been the story. John Mateer, Oklahoma offense, 15 run, 15 passes, great game plan. But Alabama scored right before the half. That keeps them mentally in the game. They're going to have to do something awful good, though, because Oklahoma's defense only gives up 13.9. So we got a little game again, but Oklahoma's offense has been the story. John Mateer.
A healthy John Mateer, right? What a difference, a couple of weeks off can make, right, Coach? He's a polarizing quarterback. You and I talked about it when SEC play started. He kind of faltered a little bit. I think he might have came back too soon from that injury from the broken hand. But you can't. Coach, how tough is this kid though? Coming back from that surgery and playing as quickly as he did to be there for his team.
Well, when you're a competitor like he is, you can't keep him out of the game. They're going to find a way to play, but coaches sometimes have to take over and make a decision. But you got to go with the kid's heart. Regardless of that, he's playing like he's on full go right now. He's really playing sharp. You know, the offensive coordinator also from Washington State. They're in sync together. It's been a thing of beauty so far. If Oklahoma could go out and score something before the half here, that would just negate everything Alabama just did.
Surprised at 17-7. I mean, the over-under was around 40-41 or so. It's up to 50.5 now, Coach.
Well, I mean, Oklahoma hasn't looked like this offensively all year, except those 2 games against Patsies to begin the season. They don't have a very dynamic offense, and Mateer has not thrown like this. So I don't think we could have predicted 17 first-half points for Oklahoma, although I felt like they would win with defense this year. There's a big play for Oklahoma now because I've got it on the background. They just had a big play to come up to the middle field. But, again, Oklahoma's, like I said, their offense is the story. But I think the play caller has a lot to do with it, because he's given them an opportunity to be successful, throwing downfield, throwing on first downs. When they run the ball, they haven't been really good running all year, so they've been running quarterback draws, quarterback counters, getting most of their rushing yardage from the quarterback.
Coach, what do you make of Oklahoma kind of owning Alabama over the last calendar year? They beat them in the debut in the SEC at home. They beat them again this year, and now they're playing again right now. What do you make of this? And people are kind of remembering, oh, yeah, Brent Venables is a pretty darn good football coach, right? I mean, this football team's really starting to click right now.
Absolutely. 19 and 20, I was at Clemson as an analyst, and I was a worker for Brent Venables. He's the most detailed. He finds ways to put pressure on the quarterback. I haven't been around too many defensive coordinators that get more prepared than he does and more emotional. And now this year he's taken over as the play-calling defensive coordinator head coach, and he's made a difference with this football team.
Emotional, yes, Scott. We were just talking about it. He gets fired up on the sidelines, Coach. He's scary, man, when he gets mad, huh?
Well, you know, at Clemson, they had to have a get-back coach. At Clemson, they had somebody grab him around the waist to keep him from running onto the field.
Oh, really? It was get-back coach, huh?
Yeah, get-back coach. He had to have one at Clemson.
Someone's job was to make sure that he doesn't run on the field and get a penalty.
Absolutely. Every game, he had a get-back coach, and they would have to get him back.
That's funny. That's funny. You know, they're asking, just talking with buddies like it, and you list teams who you think could win the national championship. And I never said Alabama, Coach, because I said sooner or later, the inability to not run the football is going to kill them. You can't win with the running game that they have. How do you explain that? All the great running backs that they've had and offensive linemen and everything, their leading rusher this year has less than 500 yards. I mean, do you see that as a head coach? And do you see the running backs not being as good, the offensive line? What's causing that this season for them?
Well, you know what? Those are things that have to be decided in the spring football, in recruiting. They're systematically not set up to run the ball well enough. And so you can't make up for that. You can't change it in the middle of the season because you can't change all your blocking schemes. You can't get those big bruising backs like Nick Saban had at Alabama. So I don't think schematically they really had a prepared offense to run the football like they would have to run in the SEC. And so the problem is from the offseason, not during the season. And so they're going to have to find a way. I knew during the season that if they didn't correct their running game, they would not make it very far in the playoffs, and they rushed for -3 in the conference championship game against Georgia.
Man, they just left 6 points on the field, guys.
Yeah, darn it.
Wow.
Did they?
Wow. Mateer could have ran for that, too. It was 3rd and 3, and he had a lot of room in front of him, but somebody was wide open, and he was a little off, but that should have been caught, though, huh, Coach?
Yeah, he should have been caught. He could have run, but that was a wide open throw. He felt like he had a great chance to make a play that would score before the half. They got 4:20 left, 4:29. So anyway, again, Oklahoma's got to stand on their defense right now, but Alabama's got to keep that. They've got to keep the pedal to the metal. They've got to keep running offensively, aggressively. Or it'll get past it. There's a fake punt now. There's another big play, wasn't it?
Block.
Not a fake punt, but a bobble punt, wasn't it?
Block. And Bama's back in business, guys.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
There could have been a touchdown. One play later, block punt.
That's the name of the game, man.
But, Coach,
Momentum
right?
change.
How do you keep the kids calm? Because this is going to be a roller coaster for 4 hours, right? There's going to be ups and downs in a game.
Well, all you got to do is forget about it. This guy missed the ball. The punter missed the ball. How many times does a punter just drop it from his hands?
Oh, my
But you know
God.
what? The biggest thing you can do, you got to put these plays behind you, go to the next play. You got to remember you're still winning by 10 points.
Has a punter of yours ever dropped the ball before he punted? He dropped it. He caught it, he dropped it.
Only he never did it more than once, I'm going to tell you right now. He got it once. I had a long snapper. I had a long snapper snap it to nobody. The punter forgot to go in. He snapped it 50 yards downfield to nobody. I was 26. I was 26 years old.
That's funny.
That should have been an interesting conversation on the sideline.
Yeah. Wow. All right, so Oklahoma leads it by 10, but Alabama has the ball to Oklahoma's 16-yard line. All right, we'll take a break. We got 3 tomorrow, Coach. If you can hang with us, we'll get your initial thoughts on Texas A&M Miami. Tulane Ole Miss and James Madison. All right, fuck with the Blitz.
If I told you 25 years ago that you could bet $1,000 on whether or not the Miami Dolphins would go 25 years without a playoff win, that probably would have returned 10 mil, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you could do that on Kalshi right now or on Polymarket right now and pick any team you want.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Michael Jordan retired at the age of 30 in 1993. He missed the 93-94 season. Furthermore, he came back for 17 games in 1995 when he gave up baseball. And when I mean gave up baseball, he gave up baseball on March 18th and came back to basketball March 19th, which means no ramp up, no training camp, no nothing.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
You ain't buying no tickets.
Who isn't?
You're not going to
Saying
these
from a
games.
fan. Of course I'm not. There's a fan. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but if you were a fan, I thought you were a fan of the Hurricanes. You're not
They told me. I told them to donate my tickets.
Yeah, so I get it. But the fans travel. They have money, believe it or not. It's amazing.
Look,
somebody's
in this
got
economy,
money.
In this economy,
But they have money. I don't know. See what Kalshi says about the economy.
SportsGrid's college football today.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day on the grid. So apropos, not a touchdown, but a field goal by Alabama. So, give it a gift 3 points, and that's what they got. Good job by the Sooners defense. So 2 minutes now left to go in the first half. Alabama trails 17-10. Oklahoma laying 6.5, and then 50.5 is now your total. So 3 games tomorrow. We're talking with the coach, Terry Bowden, the Bowden Blitz host here on SportsGrid. Coach, we'll start in order. Texas A&M laying 3.5 at home against Miami. Over under 48.5. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Kyle Field is worth at least 3 of those points. They got unbelievable stadium, 110,000. Nick Saban said today they pipe in even more sound. They don't ever sit down. I think that really affects, and they lead the nation in sacks. And what's going to happen? You'll have Alabama. I mean, you'll have Texas A&M when they go back now. They're going to have Miami jumping off sides, illegal procedure, those kind of things that come from the crowd noise. When I look at something like that, that's usually worth about 3-4 points for me during a game. But I think it's the biggest thing is Miami has got to run the football some because, like I say, Texas A&M is number 1 in the nation in sacks, number 1 in third down defense, and Alabama, sorry, I've been thinking about this Alabama game. Miami needs to run the football enough that they don't get in those 3rd and long situations. But I think Texas A&M defense is going to be the most important thing in this football game.
The other 2 games, Coach, who do you think has a better chance of hanging? Tulane with Ole Miss or JMU with Oregon?
I think it's Tulane. I think maybe they do. I think because Ole Miss beat them so badly the first time, they may not be totally mentally ready to play. I think the talent level is too big. The home field in Oxford, Mississippi. I think both of these things they're going to cover the points they're going to cover and beat them. I just think Tulane has a chance to go on there and have Ole Miss not be totally mentally ready to play. But the talent level again, they got the first team all conference running back, second team all conference quarterback, and I think they've handled the Lane Kiffin thing pretty well. I don't think he has, but I think they have. They've got their Charlie Weiss calling plays still. They've got their defensive coordinator running the show, and I think that keeps some continuity in their game plan. And I do think they've gotten to the point. This has been a special year for Ole Miss. I do think they see the big picture. They don't see just beating Tulane. I think they see big picture, which will allow them to lock back in and win this game decisively.
Oregon just too much for JMU?
Oh, God. Oregon's kind of my sleeper team. I mean, Oregon, and that's another crazy field. I mean, you go out there at Alston Field, right. Alston Stadium, and JMU hasn't played anything like that. They won the Sun Belt, whereas Oregon's out there in the Big Ten, lose 1 game to Indiana, and they are so talented. So I think the talent level is just too much. JMU's head coach has already taken the UCLA job. That does cause a lot of problems, especially when you're a group of 5 team, and all your coaches see that big stars in their eyes. They're going to UCLA, those ones or the ones that worry that they're not. Where are they going to be working? Those things are factors in the game.
We had a coach on, we had a guest on earlier that brought up that Chesney was in Gardenia, California the other day. He's got a playoff game coming up, right?
Well,
he's meeting with UCLA boosters. Yeah.
But that's the same thing Summerall's have. They fly them back and forth. Of course, they've got their athletic planes. Wow. But they fly them back and forth and make it.
He's got an office in Gainesville already and stuff, right? He's just sort of
when those people pay you that much money to go to a Power 4 school, they want you to come, but they understand if you go, you better be back here getting your staff ready, getting ready for the portal and all those things. So that takes away. But at least in the Tulane game, you've got Lane Kiffin gone too. So there's a little bit of even up right there. But I think Oregon to me is kind of a sleeper team with me.
I love
5
you say
teams.
that, Coach.
Yeah,
I love
pick.
them. Oregon versus Georgia. Oregon versus Georgia. That's my bracket in the final.
I would take it any time because Oregon can run the football. Their quarterback is great dual threat. And I just think people have not paid enough attention to Oregon this year.
You give them any shot at all? I mean, how difficult that is it, Coach? Does the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator do all the work, and the head coach is just there, or is that with with Tulane and James Madison?
I coached 6 years in the SEC, and I was offensive play caller. I never bothered my defensive coordinator at all. I just said, come in Thursday, tell me what your game plan is, but that's what I pay you for. You're my highest paid coach. I'm going to fire you if you don't do well. And I made sure the number one guy on my staff was just the and I learned from a good coach, my old man. I did it just like he did it, but I was damn good at calling plays. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I love that. I got trust in you, but I will fire you, but I got a lot of faith in you right now. I love you, Coach.
Take care, man.
If I told you 25 years ago that you could bet $1,000 on whether or not the Miami Dolphins would go 25 years without a playoff win, that probably would have returned 10 mil, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you could do that on Kalshi right now or on Polymarket right now and pick any team you want.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Michael Jordan retired at the age of 30 in 1993. He missed the 93-94 season. Furthermore, he came back for 17 games in 1995 when he gave up baseball. And when I mean gave up baseball, he gave up baseball on March 18th and came back to basketball March 19th, which means no ramp up, no training camp, no nothing.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
You ain't buying no tickets.
Who isn't?
You're not going
I'm
to
saying
these
if I'm a
games.
fan. Of course I'm not. There's a fan. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but if you were a fan, I thought you were a fan of the Hurricanes. You're not anymore.
They told me. I
smashed
told them
you.
to donate my tickets.
Yeah, so I get it. But the fans travel. They have money, believe it or not. It's amazing. They do. Well, somebody's got money.
In this economy,
They have money. I don't know. See what Kalshi says about the economy.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks again for the coach, Terry Bowden, host of the Bowden Blitz, seen here on SportsGrid. One quick update, Colorado already 1-0 over Winnipeg. Yeah, that was a nice little play tonight. I like that one a lot. So, meanwhile, we're at the college football game. We're at the 2-minute warning. Well, we're underneath it now. About a minute left, a minute and a half. Oklahoma does have the ball right around midfield, their own 46-yard line. Up 7, leading 17-10, Gabe. 7.5 is your number, and then the over-under is 50.5, which it seemed to kind of settle in on that 50.5. So,
I'll tell you what, man, this game really took an interesting sort of dynamic swing in which Oklahoma could have really delivered a dagger, right? And made it 24-7, wide open. Mateer throws it. They were just a little bit off the pass. The kid didn't catch it. It was both of them type of deal. Alabama responds with a field goal after, makes it a 7-point game. It's a massive drive for the Sooners right now. Even if it's 3, and this is what you don't want happening. Pick 6.
Yeah.
We got ourselves a tie football game, extra point pending.
Wow.
Pick 6, just like that.
Wow.
Instead, like I said, it could have been 24-7, guys, after that play, and the stadium would have erupted, and Bama would have been in a lot of trouble. Instead, we got a 17-16 game, just like that. They're back in it. Pick 6.
In a lot of ways, it kind of reminds me of last night's game, right? Rams are in complete control. They're up 2 scores.
Just one more.
Seattle, they punt the ball away and a special teams play, right? Really changed that game. The guy returns the punt back for a touchdown, and all of a sudden we had a game last night. Whereas this wasn't a punt return, but it was a botched punt by Oklahoma. As you mentioned, a
special
play
teams
was wide open.
That sequence.
And now that just kind of changed it. 17
3 plays,
all.
you're right.
Wow.
Pick 6, block punt, muff punt, block punt, blah, blah. Left 6 points on the field, missed opportunity. You can't leave opportunities on the field against a team as good as Alabama. Like we kept on talking about last night, the Rams are going to make you pay, and somehow Seattle survived. But Alabama will make you pay eventually, and they just did. Right? They just did. And it's amazing, isn't it, Scott? We're right back to where we started, right? The game was kind of a pick-em, and like here we are, we're tied. But how about the total? 56.5 right now.
Wow.
And I think it's too light almost. We're at 34. Like they've been off all game with this.
Who is he throwing the ball to? I'm telling you. I don't know if we talked. Yeah, we did talk about it on the air. I'm telling you, Gabe, he threw that ball to a guy who was standing by himself. There wasn't anyone 10 yards from him.
I know, he threw it right to the guy on Bama. Right in his head.
I'm thinking he had a mental like, that's my guy. We talked about the uniforms being the same.
That was a very Darnold. Yeah, I know. I'd like to wonder about that, but
there was nobody there. Nobody for Oklahoma.
But you see, it's weird, Scott. Like the play before, he threw a nice pass over the middle of the field. Right? Like he really is. Like every play is you don't know. Right? It's like, I don't know. It might be, he might throw a bullet, he might overthrow it, or he might throw a pick 6. Like, it's getting adventurous.
The first game they had a pick 6 too, right?
Well, he's got the
touchdown.
Ball. So, it's very Darnold-like. You got a chance of redemption before the end of the half. Put points on the board.
He just throws it. Wow. Maybe he thought the wide receiver was going deep. Wow.
Now it's batted a lot. Now Bama's got the momentum, and now Bama's bench is all fired up. These games are like this, though, guys. It's college. There's going to be momentum swings, right? It's all about how do you handle it. Mateer looks rattled, though, now, Scott, like in his face. Like he looks like kind of freaked out on the sideline and depressed, and he's got to, he's 13 to 21, 172 yards, but he's got to regain his composure here. No more turnovers. Can't afford the turnovers.
Yeah. And just for the record, there's a second team scores 3 in a row situation. So
wow, both of them.
Scott,
17 and 17 unanswered points.
17. Yeah. How crazy is that? And you think about it, they were given 3 points. The Alabama offense really, that's not been, they get a defensive touchdown. They get a gift field goal, which they didn't score a touchdown. And they had the one drive when it was 17-0. But, if Alabama gets to halftime, they got to be saying, man, our offense didn't do anything, and we're right there. We're in the game. So 57.5 FanDuel has it.
Alabama, I believe, kicked off, if I'm thinking correct, if I remember properly.
I'll double check here.
I'm confused because, I remember it was the white team. Yeah, I'm confused the jerseys, but it was.
Yeah.
On 3rd and 5, they get stuffed. So this is it. We're going to be going to the half basically at 17-17. Wow. Man, Oklahoma really could have just punched him in. It looked like it could have been a rout and a blowout and stuff, huh? And Bama just strikes right back in it. Well, we're on, I'm on Oklahoma. I hit the overs here, but Oklahoma was looking really good. Suddenly this is a toss-up right now. Like Alabama definitely had the momentum back.
Yeah. I don't think they got higher. We were talking with the coach there when it was 17-0. Maybe it was 10.5. I don't think it got much higher than that point spread wise. Then it was 7.5. Now it's basically down to 1.5 like it was to start the game. So the way they botched the last punt, so let's make sure they can punt the football. Oklahoma. Wow.
Yeah, good point.
6.5 though, right? That kid's
What's
Caitlin
DeBoer freaking out about? DeBoer's freaking out on the sidelines about something, but I don't really. What?
For a team that's got 17 points on the board, they really haven't. I mean, the wide receiver drops that pass. The punter drops the punt. Quarterback throws the miscommunication.
No, they should have already iced this game almost. It really could be like 27-0. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they really. Yeah, it's been isolated plays. It really is. It's like we talk about it actually, right? Like Oklahoma kind of dominated this half, but it's 17-17 right now. That's got to be like so. It's just emotionally draining that happens. Like if both these, put it this way, guys, both these teams going into the room, Alabama will be in a better mood going into their room than Oklahoma will be right now.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's a tie game.
Yeah. And you know, it's weird. It's going opposite in some ways of the first game. The first game, Alabama had 2-1 in yards, but lost.
Yeah, they racked up the yards. You're right.
Has over 2-1 in yards. Oklahoma's got 230 yards. Alabama only 100, and yet it's tied. So
that's why I'm not a big yard. I acknowledge yards, but I hear like a lot of handicappers talking about, they racked up this many yards and stuff. Yeah, yards are deceptive.
So what?
Yards are very deceptive.
Yeah. I got a 3-touchdown lead. I'm not playing, I'm playing prevent defense. That doesn't mean I got outplayed. It just means, we outplayed them so badly. Yeah, I know our buddy Mark Lawrence puts a lot of credence into that, and I really don't. I really don't. So, no, it's a 17.
So, okay, so there was a penalty. That's why DeBoer was flipping out. So let me see. What?
After the play, maybe?
Wow. The get out of the way coach call. Bro, one of the assistants tripped the referee by accident, but that's a penalty on the team. The referee didn't have access. Like the referee was like
Sean Harbaugh
walking backwards and he sort of stumbled because an Alabama coach was in his way, but that's a penalty, guys, in football.
That's
the refs, you can't be in the ref's way. You got to stand back. That's why there's a line.
Yeah. So, I mean, it shouldn't affect things as long as they get the punt away, but you got to
first down. They kept the ball now. So now, and don't forget, the kid did make a 51-yarder already. Maybe it was 4th and 4, Scott.
Oh, I thought it was what's his face at Oklahoma?
Because there was no player on the field. I'm like, I don't know what DeBoer's bitching about, but he was yelling to one of his assistants and the referees, telling him, get the F out of the way. It's amazing Bowden just told us about having to get a guy. Was his job was to make sure that Venables didn't run on the field.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so they got they have.
You'll always see it, guys, for the viewers, Scott. You'll always see coaches like telling the guys, "Get back, get back."
Yeah.
There's a reason why. You'll get a penalty if the referee runs into you.
Yeah, you definitely see guys on the sidelines. That's their job. You definitely see that. So I'll let you know when we come back.
If I told you 25 years ago that you could bet $1,000 on whether or not the Miami Dolphins would go 25 years without a playoff win, that probably would have returned 10 mil, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you could do that on Kalshi right now or on Polymarket right now and pick any team you want.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Michael Jordan retired at the age of 30 in 1993. He missed the 93-94 season. Furthermore, he came back for 17 games in 1995 when he gave up baseball. And when I mean gave up baseball, he gave up baseball on March 18th and came back to basketball March 19th, which means no ramp up, no training camp, no nothing.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
You ain't buying no tickets.
Who isn't?
You're not going to
saying
these
I'm
games.
a fan. Of course I'm not. There's a fan. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but if you were a fan, I thought you were a fan of the Hurricanes. You're not anymore.
They told me. I told them to donate my tickets.
Yeah, so I get it. But the fans travel. They have money, believe it or not. It's amazing.
In this economy,
they have money. I don't know. See what Kalshi says about the economy.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. So Alabama and Oklahoma go into halftime tied at 17. Oklahoma actually could have had a Hail Mary if they would have called timeout right around the Alabama 48-yard line, but they let the clock tick away. So halftime we go. Give you some halftime lines for those that got some prop plays here just to keep you updated on things. We'll start with Oklahoma. Batir, 16-24 for 186 yards, 1 touchdown to 1 pick six. He's also run for 27 yards, so he's their leading rusher. Blaylock has 22. Simpson, 9 of 16 for 103. Jam Miller, 3 carries for 11 yards. They've run the ball. You throw the Simpson scrambles out. They've run the ball 4 times. 4 times. Wow. So 17-17 is your score. What the numbers, we'll get some halftime lines here. Let that kind of settle in. Do you want to take a peek, Gabe? I played a little hunch tonight. I went 1-1.
Hey, Oklahoma, sorry, Scott. I was going to say right now, there's a game going off the board right now. Oklahoma and Minnesota are tipping off any second now. If you weren't with us earlier, I got DiVincenzo over 3.5 rebounds, 8 straight, 12-2 in the last 14, over 3.5 rebounds. So we're getting ready for tip-off. Numbers come down. Oklahoma minus 5.5 right now. Total 233. I'm kicking myself, Scott. The Bulls and Cavs played the other night. It was 242. Was sailed over the number. They just played again, and it sailed over again, bro. They're at 255 right now. Wow.
Yeah. That's amazing. 255 points with the final minute. I played a little hunch, 2 hunches. Played against the Knicks, Gabe. That line was 5.5. The Knicks are phenomenal at home against the spread, right? And you got mediocre Philadelphia coming to town. They were begging to take the Knicks, but this was their 3rd game in 4 nights. They won the NBA Cup. They came back 2 days later and won yesterday, which I thought was very impressive, although they didn't cover the number. And I thought today would be the day where it's just like, we're out of gas. And lo and behold, they lose at home by 9 to the 76ers. But the Spurs were in a similar spot, and I went against them, and yet they win by 30 points or 28 points. So you have all these great systems, and in the end, you lose the big. So 126-98 Spurs beat the Hawks. Wembanyama had a monster day. 26 points, 12 rebounds. So Spurs are looking good. NHL, what do we got on the hockey board here tonight? Great hockey game, right? Carolina and the Florida Panthers tonight. Kind of getting overshadowed, obviously, with the college football. They've exploded for 4 goals. If you had the under, you're looking great. 1-0 entering the 3rd period. They have 4 goals
3-2 now.
3-2.
Under a minute
left. You got to fear the empty netter. Yeah,
Carolina hanging on. Dallas and Anaheim coming up in a couple of minutes as well tonight at the at the Pond in Orange County this evening. Stars basically a pick'em actually this game. Total 6.5.
Yeah, I like that. I like Anaheim.
You know what there is? I didn't love the NHL card tonight. I like the Canucks, but there's a lot of late night college basketball guys. So we got the, there's a lot going on. You got the Jake Paul fight coming up, and I just looked too at the schedule here. They're moving along, actually. They're on a pretty good pace. There's a fight going on now, and then there's another fight, and then it's the Jake Paul and Joshua. So what? We're moving in on, it's not even 10 o'clock yet, so they kind of are on schedule. Like I said, I would imagine it'll be around me. I'm hoping, and you brought it up the other day, yesterday, I think you're kind of right. I would imagine they would start it probably like 10, 15 minutes after this game ends. I know it's 2 different worlds, but at the same point in time, they're not stupid, and they realize that sports fans are watching this right now.
Yep, especially if it's a close game like it is. And they're saying, do we want to start this, when there's 5 minutes left to go in a 27-27, 27-24, whatever.
But it's not
game?
a pay-per-view, right? That's another thing.
No,
so, they've already
ratings,
sold it, you know what I mean? But you're right. Like, Netflix wants people to watch it. They don't want to, they didn't pay whether or not people watch it, right? So, it'll be interesting. I figured, listen, it's boxing. Boxing and MMA is a little crisper, but It'll be about, I figure, midnight Eastern time. So I figure right around this game is ending. That's when that should happen. But I just for the record, they are on pace right now. But college basketball tonight, we've got quite a few games tonight. Cal Poly against UCL for a Friday night. Cal Poly, UCLA, FAU at St. Mary's, Morgan State at Cal, North Alabama, Loyola Marymount. This is the San Diego and UC San Diego. San Diego are 13-point favorites. And Seattle and Washington tonight, Scott, an interesting one. Neutral court. I guess they're playing at the Kraken Arena, right? The Climate Pledge tonight.
Yep.
Normally they're playing at home. Yeah, so I tell you what, if you look at Seattle and Washington's history, they're always close games. And Seattle are 9-2 this year. They haven't played anybody, but if you look at the history, they do step up. This is a massive rivalry game for them, the Red Hawks, when you play the Huskies.
Yeah, they're one of my always under teams, Seattle. So they've done a halfway decent job this year, kind of carrying the torch. 149.5. You know, I like playing anything that's right around the 150, especially, because you need to really kind of go up and down the court to get the 150 in a college basketball game. So I like the under there. UCLA is one of my always under teams as well. And they're due. They've had a couple of overs, so that they're due, if you will, for an under against Cal Poly. That's one of those where, every once in a while he lets them run loose, and it could be 100-65. I get that.
Yeah, UCLA are starting to get better. They're actually pretty good, UCLA. I like what someone said. People said, if you watch Mitch Cronin's press conferences, you'd think that they're 3-7 or something. He's just a negative dude. Like, it just is. That's his act. And they're actually a pretty dangerous team. They won by 13 the other night against Arizona State. We took the ASU plus the 10. It did go over. And they also scored 90 points. UCLA can score. If you're into just strict numbers, North Alabama is 3-5 to the under. Loyola Marymount are 7-3 to the under. You got a 141, though. It's not that high. North Alabama in Los Angeles tonight against Loyola Marymount. But I am really intrigued by this Washington-Seattle game tonight. I think Seattle can cover and hang around in this game tonight.
All right. I'm going to go with the under in the game. It's a weird game. Morgan State. What aren't they in Alabama? Morgan State, I think.
Yeah. What the hell are they doing in California on a Friday night in the week of Christmas?
Yeah, right. Florida Atlantic's in California at St. Mary's. North Alabama.
They're filler games for these teams, Scott. The students aren't there. They're it's whatever. We need an opponent. Like, Michigan's playing LaSalle tomorrow. We got to check in on that one.
All right. Check it out. We'll come back to Game Live.
If I told you 25 years ago that you could bet $1,000 on whether or not the Miami Dolphins would go 25 years without a playoff win, that probably would have returned 10 mil, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you could do that on Kalshi right now or on Polymarket right now and pick any team you want.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Michael Jordan retired at the age of 30 in 1993. He missed the 93-94 season. Furthermore, he came back for 17 games in 1995 when he gave up baseball. And when I mean gave up baseball, he gave up baseball on March 18th and came back to basketball March 19th, which means no ramp up, no training camp, no nothing.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
You ain't buying no tickets.
Who isn't?
You're not going to
saying
these
if I'm
games.
a fan. Of course I'm not. There's a fan. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but if you were a fan, I thought you were a fan of the Hurricanes. You're not
They told me. I told them to donate my tickets.
Yeah, so I get it. But the fans travel. They have money, believe it or not. It's amazing.
In this economy,
they have money. I don't know. See what Kalshi says about the economy.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I see the Lions making it when it's all said and done. I talked to Brady Cannon about this. We were doing our show on Sunday night. I think the Bears are just a season early. I think they're a year early in their development. They are winning games, and they still have a negative point differential. The turnovers are keeping them afloat. That's just not sustainable when it's all said and done. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job. Next year will be the year they truly take a lead.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Boy, it's been a day of tough beats. You know, it's just a lesson of welcome to gambling. 1-0 Carolina over Florida entering the third period. You're sitting on an under 5.5. You're thinking, oh, this is golden. Man, I should have doubled down. I knew this wasn't going to be a high-scoring game. This is like Eastern Conference Finals written all over it. They're going to overtime, tied at 3. 5 goals in the third period. Florida scores with 42 seconds left to send it to overtime.
Hey, these are games you can't lose if you're Carolina. Florida or weekend. You got to take advantage of it now. Bury them now. Like, you know what I mean? When you can. Sort of like the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs were beat up. They were injured. Right. People beat them down and said, no. There ain't no, late coming back story for you guys this year. We're going to finish you off. And by the time you guys get good, you're going to be out of the playoffs. You can't let Florida off the hook if you're Carolina. That's why I don't believe in Carolina. They're one of those teams, Scott. They don't win big games. They just don't. Yeah. Right? In the playoffs, every year, Carolina are dangerous. They're always dangerous. Like, it's dangerous to bet on them. Like, that's what's dangerous. I wanted to bring something up. It's the halftime show now. I don't know. Like, I switch. I'm put on the Thunder game here now at the half. I'm just checking out we got women's hockey. We got a ton of stuff going on. So we got that Dr. Pepper stuff, Scott, where they – number one, I'm sure you'll agree with me on this. Number one, you shouldn't be allowed to throw it like that. Like, or you know what I mean? Like that whole, no. You got to throw the effing ball. Like, do it like the old days. Bring Dan Marino and some other Jim Kelly and Marino in, and you teach them for a couple of days. That's what they used to do. Did have footage. They hung out with Dan Marino, and they show the girl throwing the ball with Dan. Like, you know, Marino showed how to do it. Like, whatever, but. As you stated, it's like, how random is this, Scott? It's always a guy and a girl. It's always like a white guy or a white girl and a black guy or a Chinese guy. Like, it's like, this ain't random, all right? Like, because if it was random, it wouldn't always be just so perfect for your little needs. And always, Scott, I said this before. I'm like, they always come on. Like, I saw one dude at the SEC game, and they had the championship game, and the girl's like, oh, I'm going to take the money, and I want to be a nurse, and I want to help people. And then the dude, I'm like, what's this do-gooder want to do? I want to be same thing. I want to cure this, and I want to cure cancer, and blah, blah, blah. Right? I'm like, I was just thinking, Scott, I'd love if they just got some slacker dude up there or whatever and just said, what are you going to do with the money if you win? I'm going to party my ass off, do a lot of hookers, and I'm going to bet it all on the championship game, Bob. Let's go.
Like, I want a second half line of this game.
Just say, I'm going to buy a lot of cocaine. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a lot of cocaine. I'd love to see the look on their face. All right, good luck. They can't. What are they going to do? You're standing there. They're going to have to let you throw after.
It's
like, give me the ball. I'm going to party my ass off. Give me the ball. Like, start throwing the ball. I want to see someone do that.
They never tell you,
but you know they test it so much. They're always putting these little. How do you even enter this? You're right. I never see how you enter.
And I'm a Dr. Pepper drink. I love Dr. Pepper, right? I got 12 cases in my garage. There's no.
Have you ever seen on a Dr. Pepper box? All right, enter here.
Nothing.
No.
Never. So how are they winning? You know, and it's always a boy. You said it's always a boy and a girl. How's that possible? What are the odds of it always being a boy versus a girl? Right? So, it's kind of goofy. Little.
You want a real contest? Make it real.
Things. Yeah, make it real. You're right. Have some guy from Animal House win. Yeah, we're gonna go splurge. Hell with Dr. Pepper. We're buying Jack Daniels. Sorry, Dr. Pepper.
If I was the CEO of Dr. Pepper, I'd be like, listen, I'm tired of all these do-gooders. All right, I want some real Americans to do that. I want the casual. I want some real people that actually drink Dr. Pepper.
And you know what? Yeah. And they would get, if you actually had a guy say something like that, you know the publicity that Dr. Pepper would get because everybody would be playing that highlight.
Everyone would be like, oh my God, this guy said he was going to buy cocaine. Did you see the Dr. Pepper? Yeah. Like,
Dr.
exactly.
Pepper, right?
They would get so much
and Dr.
more
Pepper
publicity
wouldn't get
versus
blamed
this.
because they could just say,
No,
"Oh,
that's
well,
their fault.
the guy's a normal guy. I don't know what he's going to say."
Yeah, is what it is.
Yeah, you know what? They're so
Okay.
safe now, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Scott. Remember in the old days, they signed a little person midget once to be a pinch hitter in baseball. Like people thought differently in the old days. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny Goodell
But he was
there.
like, Bill Vex, like, I tell you what, I think we're getting a lot
Bill
of
Vex.
publicity for this. We actually did this. You bring in Eddie Goodell. They told him, they said, "Listen, Eddie, we got a
Goodell,
sniper.
yeah,
We got a
I
couple of snipers in the stadium. If you swing the bat, you'll be dead before you finish." That's what they told him.
Yeah.
Because he told people, "I'm going to swing. I'm not going to walk." He goes, "This is my only chance to have a big league at bat." He goes, "I'm not going to walk. I'm going to swing." And Bill Veck told him, "I'll kill you if you do."
And you know what? 60 years, we're still talking about it. So
Exactly, it
we
worked.
got the publicity, right?